So yeah, let's kick into it. Can be, actually, I haven't got any way of playing the theme tune at you, so let's just roll straight into it. So I think just do an a cappella version of the Three Cs theme.
Bum
um,
bum bum ba-dum.
dun, 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 dun. Oh! So after the music plays and fades away, I think we start the scene as most of these series do, for high up in the air, initially over familiar terrain. As we look over, and we can see that we're hovering above the familiar Isles of Last Haven. We can see Nilwood in the foreground, Tiger's Rest, and probably a little glimpse in the bottom left of frame of Tai Cheng, um, as the scene. So we're sort of early morning. The sun's just rising over in the east, and then all at once the camera begins to hurtle towards the west, and we hear the wind whistling past our ears as we travel hundreds of miles an hour across the first surface of the eastern sea. Slowly, a mountain range begins to emerge from the horizon, as we see the mountains that separate the two seas beginning to slowly come into view. As we get closer, we begin to see that nestled in amongst the mountains are these great stone beasts, giant lions, bears, eagles. These form the watchtowers and lookouts of the southern Dwarven city of Sud Kazad. Slowly, we zoom in further, and we zoom in towards one of the large statues of a bear, and we see that in its open maw is the inner workings of a guard tower. We can sort of see a dwarven banner is draped over the side of it, but it's ripped down the centre, and we can see along part of it. It's had orcish runes painted on it in blood, and some of it's been rewoven with dwarven beards. Small flecks of lower lips still attached in a few places. We can see that there's one rather sullen-looking orc looking out over the eastern sea, looking rather perturbed that he doesn't get to be part of something. The camera zooms past him, and we go down the winding stairs that lead us deep into the earth. We come out the other end, and we find ourselves in Sud Kazad. It's an ancient city, and it's the ancestral and cultural home of the Dwarves. Currently, the streets are silent. We can see everything's made out of grey stone, right up to the high ceiling, still rough earth above our heads. Everything's deathly quiet. We sort of see as a rat hobbles into frame, some gristly part of a long dead dwarf dragging behind it. But all at once it jumps as we hear a sound coming from the distance, and it's the thunder of a crowd. The camera vaults left, and we hurtle towards the arena, which we see slowly coming into frame. The arena is a large circular building. It very much looks like an old Roman Colosseum. As we get closer, we dip up over the top wall, and we are at once hit by the wall of sound of the thundering crowd. We see hundreds of orcs filling the stands, all tossing items, cheering and jeering in unison. We move down, and we see that the centre is a large circular pit full of sand with a stage in the centre made of stone, 4 large columns in the corners, one of them tipped over. From here, we see that against one of the columns, there are some strange devices strapped to it, with large chains. These are there'll be four humanoid devices strapped to one of these stone pillars. As we zoom in on the first one, we would see for the first time Nice. Nice, you are against a pillar with 2 large chains, one around your chest, one around your knees, holding you against the stone. So what does Nice look like, and how do we find him in this situation?
So, first off, very important. Last time you said that I'd have like sap.
Oh, sorry, you froze for a second there. You still there?
Oh,
Oh,
everything froze for me. I'm back.
you're back. Sorry, repeat that for me.
Um, so last time you said that I would start with basically sackcloth clothing and a sack over my head. Is that still true?
No, you would have been brought into the arena with a sack on your head. The sack will be at your feet, and they would have dragged it off you.
Okay. Well, either way, Nice basically looks like the picture. He's got like these 4 sort of blue, faintly glowing eyes on his face. Made out of kind of like simple metal plating, which all kind of fits together naturally to make his humanoid form. And you can see like in between his like the gaps in his neck and his arms and elbows, you can see what looks to be kind of like a dark wooden muscular structure, which looks rather strange. He doesn't have any of his stuff, so you don't see any of his like nice clothing that he's made. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So the camera would pan round to the left. So let me bring you into the... Actually, no, I'll bring you in a minute. So the camera would pan round to the left, and we would see the first of your machine compatriots. You'd probably be chained up next to you. Would be nice wife. Is it called? What's the name of your battle? Your steel defender.
She doesn't have a name. I literally just call her my wife.
Okay, nice.
Or it, my wife. So she is so... I didn't say, but Nice is actually relatively small for a humanoid. He's only 5 foot tall.
Okay.
Yep. So he's not like a gigantic hulking robot. And the machine next to him is just a little bit shorter at about 4 foot. And barely looks humanoid. She essentially looks like several metal plates that have been fitted together to make this humanoid structure, whereas her arms and her legs just go down into like solid points, like swords.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't look particularly feminine, except when she moves. That's kind of when you get the idea that she might be modelled after a woman.
Excellent. Okay. So then we would pan round further to the left. And we would see the next of our steel defenders. This one, the work of Smithius McSmithface. So starting with your defender, do you know what your steel defender looks like, Smith?
Oh, I haven't really thought about this. I think my defender's probably modelled on my good friend Nadine.
Okay. So it's like a cat girl. So
but like subtly, if you can be a subtle cat girl.
So what's the what's the tech like? Is it sort of like old clockworky steampunk, or is it more sort of modern sleek metal? How's the design?
Yeah, definitely more old-fashioned, visible cogs. Lots of moving parts. Yeah, very steampunk.
Okay, yeah, so probably a couple of like visible exhaust pipes slowly chugging away.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, and then we would pan round to the right and see the final of our steel defenders. This one, the work of Nadine. What does your steel defender look like?
So, Artis, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
Probably in complete contrast to the weird Nadine sex bot next to him. He would look as human as possible, as in like no visible cogs or exhaust pipes. It's all very sleek, and so like at a glance, if you saw him from like across a field, you'd be like, oh, look at that guy.
Yeah.
The only thing that gives him away is obviously like the steel sheen of metal, but otherwise it's like smooth plates everywhere. He's got a very like human looking face. Yeah, like pretty much like if you had to like describe the average human shape and size, it would be Artius' size. Like he was purposely made to like slip into a crowd without like gaining attraction.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So before I drag the remaining compatriots into the arena, there's something I need to organise. So can I get each of you to roll a d10 for me, please?
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
I need to roll
oh
some as
boy.
well.
Lowest dies first. Just kidding. Oh wait, never mind. I saw that one dice above it, and I thought I rolled the 1. I was like, shit. But I got a 9. So yeah, lowest dice first. Sorry, Dave. It's always Dave.
So hold on. So 1 sec. So I need to do 1, 1, 2, 3.
1D Hitler.
Yeah, I know it's that. And so it begins.
Start on a high note.
Okay, cool. So what did everybody roll?
We got a 9.
I've rolled a 9.
I got a big sexy 2.
So two. So
I think I got an 8.
Big sexy 2.
absolutely perfect. Okay, cool. So.
Big meaty claws.
Isn't that a scat website?
What?
Big Sexy 2.
Oh god.
So Nadine and Smithius rolled 9s. What did you
I've
roll,
seen-
Gannicus?
2.
2, you're okay. And then, yeah, that's fine. And then for these ones, let me just double check. So, nice is okay.
Just for a bit of backstory, real quick, Smith, can I ask how long your steam golem has been modeled after Nadine?
How long have we known each other?
I think you said 2 years, right?
Yeah. It's probably fairly recent. It's not something I latched onto straight away.
Okay.
And maybe it's sort of slowly become more and more
specific.
more and more cat-like.
Like probably when you first met, just some ears appeared on it at some point, and you were like, "Oh, that's cute, that's cute." And then
now it's reaching the levels where I'm like, what's the sign language for friend zone?
Yeah.
It really doesn't help that you constantly talk through it as well. Cool. Okay.
I talk through mine, not through.
So I think it's at this point we begin to see the rest of the party. I'm gonna. Oh, hold on. I don't need that one. Let me just quickly grab up one of these. Let's do that. Okay, cool. So we see in Monsters Ground, so Monsters Throne Crowd, the camera pans round from where these four machines are chained against this pillar. The camera pans round and we can see stood in front of them is a large burly-looking orc wearing various scraps of ill-fitted armour. It's all fairly ornate and all very clearly designed to fit a dwarf. But has just sort of been strapped to him in various places. Like he's wearing 2 breastplates stacked vertically across his chest. And he's got a dwarven helm which has obviously been split on either side so that it fits onto his large head. And you can see that he's got a shield on the ground and he's holding a large dwarven warhammer, which he seems to be he's testing out on the stone at his feet. The camera pans round and we sort of get a 360 of this orcish crowd. Near enough every seat in the arena is filled. And we pan round to the top and we see that the northern tip of the arena is in the stands. You can see that all of the seats have been stacked up with helmets. We follow these helmets up towards the top, and towards the top seat you can see a throne has been erected. In it is sat an even larger orc, similarly garbed in fancy dwarven armour, but this one all of the brighter golder parts that could be found. Atop his throne of helmets sits War Chief Tars. He raises a hand and we see that to the eastern edge of the arena a gate slowly creaks upwards. We can see a small orc hobbling at the chains to the side to raise it up. And slowly 2 lines of prisoners begin to emerge out into the arena. At the head of them, two common-looking dwarves, both in sort of simple sort of guild artisans' clothes. We can see just behind them is another human, and then 3 dwarves. All of the dwarves have been stripped down so that they're just in simple sort of like loincloths and sort of ragged clothes that they seem to have fashioned themselves. Behind them, we can see that there's an elven man in what looks like he were once very fine-looking clothes. It looks like he might have been some sort of a tailor. There's like fine silk clothes and embroidery, but they're long tattered from long use. It looks like he's been wearing the same outfit for a very long time. All of the people in this procession, you notice, are bound together by two means. There is a long rope which joins the two rows together. You walk in two queues, and you're bound front and back to the person in front of you and behind you with a long rope that stretches between the whole group. And then there's a manacle which handcuffs you to the person to your side. So the two groups are handcuffed together, and then a rope connects them to walk as two long caterpillars of prisoners. Handcuffed to this elven chap, we see for the first time Gannicus. What does Gannicus look like? So Gannicus, you would still be wearing any clothes you would be wearing, any armour you would have been wearing, if any, would not be with you. But you'd still have clothes, but you'd have been stripped of all other possessions, and you're handcuffed to this grotty-looking elven chap.
Okay, so Gannicus would be quite a young-looking elf, currently very beaten, very bloodied. Normally would have his hair, pale blonde hair tied up, but currently it's all straggled and gone to the wind. He's very much light brown skin, and around his neck you'd be able to see just pale flecks of green and gold. And his clothes would be monkish clothes of a fine dark red.
Nice. Okay. So up until this point, you would have all been dragged into. This is the first time you would have all had any sort of vision. Up until you would have been jostled around a lot in the dark, as you would have been dragged into. You've had a sack on your head for as long as you can remember prior to this gate opening, and a small, scrawny-looking orc with a hooked nose and a sharp grin, and would have pulled sacks off your head before leading you out into the arena. As you look to your side, Gannicus, you see this elven fellow. Do you say anything to him as you're being led out into the arena?
Can I tell if it's definitely an elf or a half elf?
Roll a perception.
I will. What's that?
So that would be 11. It's the first of the two. So no, you can't tell for certain. He certainly looks like an elf to you. He's got that same sort of like boyish good looks, if you know what I mean. That looks like he's perpetually boy band age. But it's hard to tell, because he's been here for so long. A lot of the sort of like sheen has been removed from him. See what I mean? Like there's a nick across the top of his nose. His hair is scraggly and unkept. So it's hard to tell for certain.
Right now, I'd say nothing.
Okay, excellent. So behind him, handcuffed to one another, we would see the two old friends, Nadine and Smithius. So we'll start with Nadine, you're stood directly behind Gannicus, so we would see you over his shoulder. And you would have both had the sacks pulled off your head before putting it out, and you come back to see that you're handcuffed. I don't know how much taller are you than Smithius?
Smithius, what size are you?
Average.
Are you a gnome? Are you a gnome or?
I'm a gnome, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be considerably short. You'd probably be like 3-4 foot.
All right. Well, I'm 5'3", so not.
Okay, so it's not
exceedingly
crazy,
tall.
but like Smithius, you would be arm up. Okay. So yeah, Nadine. What does Nadine look like when we see her?
I think the first thing that's probably noticing is that she's constantly like raising her arm to make Smithius like reach up.
So you're immediately toying with them.
Yeah. But also I think the main thing to note. So Nadine is she's got like rough cut brown hair, kind of like the picture, like kind of like spiky. And like slitted cat eyes, almond shaped. But compared to like most everyone else is like battered and bruised. She's got like some dust, maybe.
Right.
Like most of the other people are like wondering how she got dragged in here without getting fucked up in the battle she was in. Whereas obviously Smithius probably knows that she like tripped into the arms of an orc and was like, silently being like, what a shame! Like,
Nice. Okay, so as you sort of panic, tugging up with her arm, we sort of follow the chain down, and when we see with his arm raised in the air is Smithius. So what does Smithius look like, and what's his reaction to being suddenly thrust into this environment?
Well, an interesting parallel with my defender looking like Nadine, and Nadine's defender looking very plain. Smithius is very plain. Not like my icon, because I accidentally got a dwarf, not a gnome.
That's fine.
Probably fairly sort of rugged for a gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Very dirty, very worn, very calloused hands. Just wearing some like messy overalls. Otherwise, features pretty not very striking. Sorry, that's not pretty. That was pretty unstriking.
I get you.
Just sort of generic, short, brown hair, messy beard. Yeah.
Excellent.
Not memorable.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, this small snarly-looking orc leads you out into the centre of the arena and around the front of the stage. You would be able to look over to your left and see your steel defenders chained to this post, alongside this strange mechanism you haven't seen before, in the form of nice. So at this point, I think I will bring you onto the arena map. There you go, so you can see your surroundings. So this is where we find ourselves. So you can see it's a large circular arena. To your right is a sort of stone formation. You can see to the front of you, it seems like a disembodied statue. Like the top half of some great statue of a Dwarven king has been smashed and then dragged into the arena to use as decoration. The large stone stage to your left. You can see there's some sort of a wooden structure you can just about see over the top of the stage to the rear. You can see that a third orc appears over to the north, just at the foot of where this great throne of helmets has been formed. You can see that he's strangely well kept looking for an orc. He's a tall, slender fellow with his hair sort of like oiled and slicked back. Does anybody speak Orcish?
I think I do, don't I?
I think I might as well.
Oh,
Dwarven.
Dwarven and Elven.
Dwarven and Celestial.
No, I don't. I speak Common and Infernal.
Yeah, I speak Orcish.
Okay, so Smithius, you would be the only one to understand what he's saying then. So for the rest of you, you would just get strange grunts and growls of the Orcish tongue, lots of heavy consonant sounds mixed in. Smithius, you would understand him saying he's addressing the crowd. He throws his arms open wide and introduces everybody to the latest bout in the arena. He says we've captured a new set of contestants, and they're blasphemous machines along with them, and he gestures to the 4 devices strapped to the posts. As he's saying this, you can see the small snarling looking orc is slowly working his way. He starts by unwrapping the rope from the 2 queues, and he's working his way from front to the back, sliding a small key into the manacles between the 2 rows of prisoners. Hey, Ellie. Cute hat. So he slowly works his way from the front to the back, undoing the manacles between the 2 queues. And as the orc up on the stands says to the crowd, we will smash their machines, and then we'll see how they fare against our beasts. But you can see as he says this, slowly to the west of the arena. Over to this direction here, you can see a large gate, similar to the one that you came over, but twice as wide, begins to slowly creak open. And you can see that the orc who's working his way through your manacles, he gets to the pair just in front of you, Smithius and Nadine. he's undoing their manacles, and then he hears this gate opening behind him, and his head darts and looks over his shoulder. And you see he begins to break into a sprint to the east. And everybody roll initiative.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Are we still chained?
Yes, you're at the back. He has not gotten round to unchaining, so everybody's untied, but Smithius, you are handcuffed to Nadine.
Select your tokens and then click the initiative.
And Smithius' initiative is fucking credit. I even got high too. Like,
Right, so let me get.
please belay your turn.
Bloody hell, the lowest is 18.
How do I get the initiative counter out?
Hang on.
Sorry, I skipped back by accident. Right, let's pop it out as its own window. Right, okay, so let's clear that off. Zoom in a touch. So, first up in our turn order, if I can bring it back up. Gannicus, you're the first to act. So you see this gate opening at the far end, and the orc has just finished uncuffing you from the elf to your right. Like the manacles fall to the ground at your feet, and you can see that you don't know what's through that gate, but you do know that he's began running to his right. You look to your left, and you see that the orc up on the tower, who was prepping up his hammer to smash these robots, looks rather surprised to see that this gate's opening.
Okay, so one orc is running away, the other one is in front of me.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Let me just get the thing up that I want to. Okay. I'm going to run up to the orc that's just unchained me.
Yeah, you can do.
Him.
So let me just quickly grab you and see what that movement is. So what's your movement speed?
It's 40 foot.
40 foot. Okay, cool.
Are you the only one that's unchained at the moment?
Yeah, you can easily catch up to him.
Nice.
So yeah, you dash up to him.
And attack him.
Nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, what attack are you using? Roll it up.
I managed to be an unarmed attack because there's no weapons right now. So let's do that thing. Done a thing.
14.
14.
So let me check. Come on, open this character sheet. Here we go. 14 does not hit. So you catch up to this orc. And you can see that his head's down and he's into a low sprint. As you catch up to him, he hears you padding up behind him, and this guy's surprisingly agile. As you swing, are you punching, kicking? How are you aiming to take this guy down?
I would be flying in with a lunging punch.
Okay, so yeah, you see that he turns around to see you, and he only has a moment to react, but he ducks his head, and your fist moves just to the side of his ear. And he continues his dash in the other direction. He continues to try and get away from you and run in the opposite direction.
Okay, I believe, let me just check. I believe as a bonus attack I can attempt to attack him again because I'm not attacking anything.
Yep. Monk,
Yep.
do that monk thing.
I'm going to do that monk thing, guys.
So you're going to do a flurry of blows or just punch him again?
For now, I'm just going to punch him.
Cool.
I think you get key points at second level. Oh, we're third, aren't we? We're third level.
Third,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, but everybody else is. I don't know about you.
I don't know what's going to come through those gates, so...
Nice. Okay, so yeah, your second blow, he dodges you, but you bring up a knee as his head goes downwards, and it clocks him in the chin. Roll up your damage.
Boom.
For 8 damage.
March.
Excellent. So yeah, you hit him in the chin, and you see that like a spray of blood kicks up upwards. He doesn't go down, but you do see that you rattle his teeth together. Over the thundering knee to the bottom of his chin.
Awesome.
Anything else on your turn?
I Let me just check my.
You hear an ooh from the crowd.
The crowd goes, "What?"
I believe for now that'll be me done. Yeah, I punched the guy who just unlocked me. So yeah, it's a good start to the day.
Okay, excellent, nice. So then next up in the order is Smithius. So there's somebody, the guy, the elf in front of you, just bolted to your side and has began chasing down the guy who has the key to your manacle.
I presume we can see our robot friends in danger.
Yes, you can. Well, you can see that they're certainly in danger. They're in great peril up until a second ago. Although the guy with the mallet who looks like he's about to start smashing them looks like he may be about to have doubts. It's hard to tell at the moment. You can see he's lowered his hammer. He was sort of in baseball bat swing, and you can see that he's lowered his hammer and he's just standing mouth agape, looking towards the gate at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as hold fire, and I'll cast Firebolt on this guy that Dave hit.
Excellent. Okay. So you turn 180. So what? How does Oh wait. Do you need a material for Firebolt?
Just checking that now.
Because you might not actually have spells. At the
I don't
moment.
think so.
Let's check.
Oh, it's not in the SRD. Sometimes.
Firebolt. 1 second.
It's just a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But
Yeah.
some of them still have anything with a material component. You won't be able to cast.
Is that no? It's components VNS, so that's
verbal
so
and
that's
magic. So yeah, you just need one hand free and your mouth free, and you have both of those.
Yes.
So yeah, cool. So yeah, you can do exactly that. So you turn 180. So what does it look like when you cast this spell then?
So it's like a board fist, and then sort of like you're throwing a ball.
Nice. Okay, so you huck it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, roll up your attack.
How do I do that?
So did you add Firebolt to your character sheet?
I just wrote it in. I didn't like.
Okay, just roll a d20 then, and we'll work it out because you just add on your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier, and that'll be your to hit. So just roll /R 1d20, or if you go in.
Oh.
Nice. Okay, so that's
9.
a 9. So plus proficiency plus so it makes 11, and then whatever your intelligence modifier is.
It was +2, wasn't it? Or +3? +2.
The big one is +2. Yeah.
+2. Okay, and let me double check this guy's sheet. There we go. So what was that? Sorry, it was.
It was 9 + 2 + 2, wasn't it?
Oh, so 13.
Yeah.
So no. So you may have aimed where his head previously was, but it's now been kicked to a different location. So this ball of fire lands in the dirt to his side, kicking up a load of smouldering dirt in the process. Anything else on your turn? So while you two are strapped together, you basically share movement. So you can either do a strength competition to decide who's moving in what direction. If you're moving unwillingly, you're going to be moving at half speed as if restricted, or you can move up to the movement speed of whoever has the least movement while you're both cooperating, and that's in the duration of a turn. So you can use that up. You can use half of that movement on one of your turns and half on the other. But if somebody's moved all of their movement already this round, you can't move them any further.
Okay. Well, I probably just look to Nadine and wait for her to act.
I want to make it very clear that you like hug it, you miss, and then you look, and Nadine's just going. Pointing at you and silently laughing.
Excellent. So there's no obvious guidance, but you're not going to resist any movement Nadine chooses to make.
No.
Okay, cool. That is fine. So anything else on your turn? Is that your lot?
A lot.
Okay, excellent. So now it's the 4 commoners' turns. So there's 2.
I think it's his construct's turn first, right?
Yes, that's true. If your construct can do anything. So yeah, your construct would go immediately afterwards. So If you wanna send a command to your construct, unless you use a bonus action, will just dodge, won't
Dodge.
it? But you can use
That's
a bonus
true, yeah.
action to ask it to do something, and you haven't expended a bonus action, so you can do that.
Oh, I don't know.
Can they do anything if they're restrained?
It's classed as restrained at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
So you can. Let's have a look. Is there a
That literally means they can't take actions.
conditions restrained? Here we go. Hold on. I think you can do a. How do you show to players?
So it can't move.
How do you do? There's a way of doing show to players from the SRD, isn't there? Do I just drag it out?
Yeah, you. Well, it should just be. Yeah, if you drag it out, there should be a show to players option, I think.
Not for the conditions, but okay. So restrained is a restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. The creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So you can still order it to do stuff, but it's heavily restrained.
I don't know. I don't think I would order it to do anything at this point.
Okay, so it will just automatically dodge. It'll try and avoid any damage that's done.
Yeah.
They do try and do to it then. Cool.
That's the
fine.
hammer that was about to come.
Yeah, eyes locked on it. You can see that even though it's dropped down, its head follows the hammer. Excellent. Okay. So next up is the commoner's turn. They are all going to use their maximum movement. So what's the movement of a commoner? Is it
30 unless are they dwarves?
2 of them are dwarves and one of them.
Dwarves will be 25. Anything that's not small will be a 30.
Okay, cool. So so they are going to go hide behind this rock, except for the dwarf who can't keep up. He's going to he's got 50 movement total.
Fucking cowards!
He's going to run over there.
They are commoners.
Cowards.
Next up is Nadine.
Can someone start the music again? It keeps stopping.
All right.
I've set it to loop now.
So, can I do a quick perception roll to see what kind of weapons are around on the ground, if any?
From where you are, yes, you can. Do a perception check and you can see what's around.
Great. Show me
Well, I crashed.
money. I
That's a
see nothing.
5.
Unless it's really obvious.
So no, you don't. Unfortunately, all the chaos just means that like you can't get a second to have a good look around. Your first instinct is to try and see, but these people rush in front of you. They sort of barge past you in the process. Smithius shoots a fireball very close to your face. So you sort of bring up a hand to deflect it. You don't have a chance to have a look around.
Great. This dude who's running away, how far is he from me?
He is currently not far. He's only about 10. He's only made it about 10 feet.
Great. So, I am going to cast a cantrip.
Cool.
Lightning lure.
Cool. Double check it doesn't. I'm assuming it doesn't have a material component.
Oh shit, it might actually. It says it does. I need to see what it is.
Is it one of the ones from the new book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning lure. Where are the new spells in this book?
Well, either way, unless you specifically have it.
Or it might be like a clod of dirt. You never
Yeah,
know.
sometimes it's like pocket lint.
Yeah,
I guess.
So let's double check. Where are the new spells? I can't see them in here.
One gnome.
One handcuffed gnome.
Oh, what a coincidence!
I cannot find.
No, lightning lore is verbal only.
Oh, great.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so yeah, it creates a lash of lightning energy that strikes one creature I choose. They must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled in a straight line towards me. So I'm basically lassoing him.
Okay, excellent. So strength saving throw, did you say? What's the DC?
So the DC will be
Yours.
14.
14, okay, cool. Strength. Oh, he gets a 20.
Gross.
So is there any damage accompanied by that, or is it just...
I think if he succeeds... Yeah, it says must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pulled 10 feet and take damage.
Okay, no, so yeah. Is it similarly to how you couldn't get a chance to get a good look around? So what does it look like when you cast this lightning lasso?
That's a good question. I think, yeah, like, it would almost be like if she was holding a whip, but, like, as she extends her arm, the lightning would, like, lash out like a whip was growing straight from her palm.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, but you're just knocked off balance and off by the chaos around you, and probably Smithius pulling slightly at your wrist, and when he's casting his spell.
Smithius' spell. So, like, I lick the air right next to his face, and immediately I'm just like,
Smithius, you.
I whip you instead.
Excellent. Okay. So anything for your anything else on your turn, or for your steel defender's turn?
I start to move towards the steel defender as much as our movement allows.
Okay, so Smithius, I'm thinking you're going to be the weak link of this. So is it 25 feet?
It is, yeah.
God damn it! This fucking gnome, get him off me!
Who would play a fucking gnome?
So you can get up to here. So you ascend the stairs, and then roll a perception, the both of you, and while you're running up the stairs. Eight, and then Nadine.
Show me potato salad. A crit.
It's 12. It's the
12.
one on the left.
Oh, god damn it. Why is it rolling double for me?
Go into your character. I'll turn it off for you now, actually. 1 second.
Okay, thanks.
It only takes a second. Character sheet. That.
12, yeah.
I hate the always roll advantage. It's very annoying. Right, there you go. I turned it off for you. What was I saying? Yeah, so 12. No, it's not quite enough. Like, you have a look over to try and see if you can see what's coming through the gate that everybody's so concerned about. But you can't get an iron light. You just see shadows in there, and there's too much.
You're cutting out for me. Sorry, George. You were cutting out for me then. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. You try to see you basically try and get a glimpse of what's coming out of the gate that everybody seems so concerned about.
So,
but
which direction is the gate, sorry?
it's over to the east. So the gate is this here. This here. So these black dots represent the opening. So to the right is the opening you came out of.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Sure. And then to the east there's an identical one to the west, and then a larger one north of that, which is the one that's opened.
Yep. Makes sense.
So yeah, you try and get a glimpse inside, but there's too much noise from the crowd for you to hear anything, and it's too dark in there for you to make out what's inside. Sorry, were you saying something?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, so for the steel defender, how are they restrained?
So there's two heavy set chains, one which is wrapped across their chests, and then one which is around their knees.
Okay. And what are they chained to?
A stone pillar.
And they're just chained to the stone pillar, not to each other, right?
There's a long chain that's wrapped around all of them, if you see what I mean. So there's two circles, effectively, ringing them in.
Yeah. Then I'll use my bonus action to have Atreya or Artius try to break the chains.
Okay, you're just going to try and muscle out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll a strength check. It'll be... It's not a dex check, so it's not with disadvantage, so just roll up a strength check for me.
Nice. How do I roll it on his sheet? Do I just click strength?
Yeah, click strength. You got it.
Show me that crit.
God, crit fail. So yeah, no, when you're commanding, I'm suggesting you don't have to give verbal commands to your machines, is it? It's sort of a telepathic thing.
Yeah.
So you see Artius begin to try and strain up against the chains, but the chain doesn't move an inch. He stays in exactly the spot he is. Like, it's a heavy set chain. He's not able to get any leverage on it.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. So next up is Nice. So next to where we can see Artius straining against the rope. So Nice. There seems to be a lot of commotion about something that's happening behind you on the other side of the pillar, so you can't get a good look round at what the hell's going on back there. But it seems to have everybody concerned.
Okay. So, which of these other two robots? Which is the one that's next to Nice?
Well, I'm guessing you can tell which one's yours by looking at the tokens. And then Artius is to your north. And then Smithy's robot is over to the west, the other side of Wife.
So Nice has been sort of like basically staring at Smithy's robot most of this time, and then kind of oblivious to what's going on around him, he just goes, "Why does that construct have boobs?" Anyway, he's gonna. I think I'm not allowed to use my construct before I act, so I'm gonna turn towards the orc. And do I have like a hand free to be able to cast a spell?
Yeah, yours bound, so your hands are sort of like free to move from the elbow down, if you know what I mean. Like you're lashed to this post around your chest, so you can give it some of this, but like you wouldn't be able to swing a weapon.
You can jazz hands.
You can jazz hands.
The important bonus action we all need.
Is the lock on the chain anywhere near me, or is it sort of away from me?
And there's no visible lock that you can see.
Okay.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna point towards the orc with the giant warhammer that's walking towards us, and I'm gonna cast grease sort of underneath it, so it's a 10-foot square.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Let me add that in. So 10-foot squares.
You're going for a sort of Home Alone vibe here.
Yeah. So forward enough that it wouldn't be under me or.
Okay, 10 foot. Got it. So 10-foot square. Draw shape of grease. Did you say it is?
Yep. I'll put it in chat.
$10-foot square, so sort of like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
And then, so when it's cast, he needs to make I believe it's a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Yep, I can do that.
And then at the start of his turn, is it start?
He crit fails.
Okay. So he just falls on his face.
Yeah, he goes face first into the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
if it ends its turn in there and it has to make it again.
And there's no damage associated with it. It's just
no damage.
Just if you end your turn there.
Only pure comedy.
All right, got it. Okay. So yeah, he goes face. I think because he's crit fails, I'm going to get him to take one punch to the face of damage because he crit failed it. So roll a d4 for me for the ground.
Gravity, bitch.
Yeah. So when Nice casts it, literally like the faceplate opens up and there's like a nozzle there and it just sprays out. So he just goes, "Why does that robot have boobs?"
Excellent. So yeah, I should probably say like he as you shout him, he's like boobs, and then you get sprayed in the face with the grease. So you actually like hose him with it. I mean, he struggles and flails for a second, and then his feet go parallel with his head, and he goes straight down onto the floor. Excellent. Anything else on your turn?
And then bonus action, I'm gonna tell my wife to attack the chain. Just be like, "Honey, now's not the time for bondage. Get us out of here." So she'll attack with disadvantage, right?
Yes, there's disadvantage. Yeah.
So an 11. Is that enough to hit the chain?
Let me just double check how it works. I don't think it actually has a. It doesn't have an AC. You can just hit it.
I want to say
it's got HP and a DC to get out of it. But it hasn't got an AC.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty sure rope has an AC, which is weird, but
chain. I don't think it's. Let me double check it just to be sure because
I know. I just looked it up in the SRD. You're right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go for it. So just roll damage.
So 3 damage.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Nice.
So one sec. So 3 damage. Excellent. Okay, cool. So what does it look like when wife attacks? Like, what mechanism is she actually using to start trying to cut this chain?
She's probably just like managed to get one of her arms under it, and she's just like soaring.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, cool. So then next up is the elf. So the elf sees Gannicus dashing off in the other direction, and he's going to do a quick survey to see if he can see any weapons. D29, no D20. He does not. In a panic, he doesn't spot anything. Because he gets... What's his perception, actually? Let me double check. He's not a very perceptive chap. No, he doesn't. He doesn't spot anything initially. There's nowhere else he can go. He's actually gonna... Let me see how much movement he's got, because...
It's going to be RB.
Okay, cool. Do we want to take a quick 5? Because Smithy's BRB'd as well.
I could go for a quick 5.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Sounds
Cool.
good.
Let's take a quick 5 there, and then we'll take the elf's turn when we get back.
Okay.
So this is going well so far, guys. I think we might make it.
Yeah.
Have absolute faith in our characters and our abilities.
I have faith in outrunning other people.
Exactly. I have faith in using these commoners as meat shields.
Yeah. I have faith in George wouldn't create something that would party wipe, just possibly kill a character or 2. And so I just need to make sure I'm not one of the 2. That's always my plan, you know what I mean? That's why I'm always on Din's back, because if he goes down, I gracefully leap off and keep running.
I mean, why do you think I took Greece?
I mean, I think you took Grease just to be a fucking pervert. Like,
I'm not the one with the sex robot.
No. Like, by the way, like, between
I came back to sex robot.
between the Nadine sex bot and the fact that you A, have a wife, and B, are like spraying oil when you notice tits. Nadine is like looking at all 3 of your robots, just like, what the fuck are these perverts?
At least he's spraying oil from his. At least he sprays oil from his face, not.
Yeah. It was like a nosebleed, right? No, I didn't actually think of that when I did it.
I thought it was a nosebleed. I thought you meant it as a nosebleed, like tits.
Like a tinged red oil.
Yeah.
It would have the opposite effect if it was elsewhere.
So what were you gonna say, Smithicus?
Yeah, I never specified it was a sex bot. Okay, that was you.
Yeah, you don't have to specify.
We know.
It's an homage. Okay, it's a loving
You're his muse.
likeness.
That's almost creepier.
All right, everybody back.
Can we get some more tunes in the playlist, please, Josh?
Yes, one sec. Next up is the elf's turn. So yeah, he initially did a perception check, didn't see anything. So he is initially gonna take cover by these rocks. Let me just see what his movement is. 30. Okay, so interesting. I'm gonna need to figure out. So yeah, he moves 15 feet. But then at that point, even with a ship perception check, he can't miss it. We see him sort of like run over, and there's like this wooden rack which he moves over and then like ducks into the side of to try and get some cover. I mean, you see his head turns to the right. I mean, you can see that what he's actually leaning up against is a weapons rack. And there's 2 swords and an axe hung against it. So he leans in and grabs one of the swords out. He's actually going to grab 2 of the swords, and then he uses the rest of his movement to run up as far as he can towards you, Gannicus. I mean, you can see that he moves over, he grabs these 2 swords out, and he begins running in your direction. He's got his hand held out towards you with one of the swords. Excellent. Next up is the grotty-looking orc's turn. So the little snarly-looking orc with the grin, who forgot to unhandcuff 2 of you. It's his turn. So let me bring his sheet up. He is going to use cunning action. So he uses his cunning action to disengage from the two of you, and then sprints away. So 60 feet he will move.
Jesus. He's fucking booking it.
Which gets him through the gate. So the open gate that you came through, he dashes through. And you see that he shouts something to the side. And I'm going to have to put this person into initiative now. As you can see, there's an orc stood there with the chain. And he comes over to him and like grabs him by the shoulders and instructs him to start lowering the gate. So let me put this guy into initiative and we'll decide when he acts. 11, and he's just a commoner, so so I'll put him in the next round at 11. So let me just add him in. Gate.
Is he in the arena or is he just outside of it?
He's now just outside of it. He's gone into the opening that you came out of. So you can see there's a tunnel, which with a gate that you came out of, and he's just darted into that tunnel, and is trying to get the orc on guard to close the gate. So gate's got 11, so it's in the right spot. Yeah, and then next up is the 3 dwarves. They are going to move over. Let me just quickly get them to make a perception check with advantage. How do you do? Why do you roll with advantage? Is it just KH1, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
I believe so.
I just rolled 1, so I'll just roll another.
So it'd be 2d20.
Yeah, 2d20 KH1.
Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, cool, that's fine. Okay, that's enough that they'll spot that there's a hand axe left. So the 3 of them move over to where the weapons rack is, and then one of them grabs the remaining axe and then moves to the front of the group to defend the other 2. So let me just quickly put something on him to signify he actually has a weapon. This looks like an axe, doesn't it? There you go. Cool, and then next...
Surrendering.
Next up is whoever's in the tunnel. So... let's
Secret tunnels.
see what the movement is. So yeah, everybody looking over towards where the tunnel is. Even over the roar of the crowd, we hear a second group of roars as coming streaking out of the tunnel. What we see. Let me move these to a different layer. Some tokens. We see 4 angry-looking tigers come hurtling out of the gates. So I think they have 60 movements. So
sure is a good thing I'm not made of meat.
Oh no, their speed's 40, so they can move 80. So they've moved 60 already. They got 20 more each. So let's do this.
Get the Hoover bot.
Yeah.
So one of them.
Animal handling. No, I didn't take it. That would have been funny.
So they're just going to make for the nearest dinner. So they all make it to there. So that's all they do on their turn. But we do see that 4 tigers come streaking out of the tunnel, and with near impossible speed, kicking up dirt as they do. And you can you see the guy face down in the grease, sort of head pans up, as he looks eyes wide open at the nearest one, which seems to be beelining towards him.
Sucks to suck.
It's his turn next. So he's got to stand up using half of his movement. And then, so it's only at the end of the turn that he'll fall if he's in it.
Yeah, if he's still in it.
Is it classed as difficult terrain?
Yes, I think it is. Let me just double check.
Yeah, difficult terrain.
Oh wait, it's in the chat.
Yeah,
Yep.
difficult terrain. So let me just check. So he's used half of his movement already. He has 25, so half of it takes him down to 12 and a half. So he can only just get off of the oil to there. And he immediately makes for the gate. Cool. Then we are back around to Gannicus. You're up. This orc's gotten ahead of you with the same crazy speed that he managed to use to dodge your fist. He has immediately head down and he's continued bolting it towards the gate and he's made it through the other side. So behind you is you can see the elf is at hand stretched out with a short sword in hand.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I do have proficiency in short swords.
Okay, so you'll have to use a little bit of your movement to get up to him. It's not far though. He's only like 3 feet away. So he's actually within 5 feet. So no, you don't need to use any movement. You can just grab it from his hand. So I'll say that'll just take half your movement because he's offering it to you. There's no resistance. It's just a minor action to pick it up or to take it from his hand. So you've still got half your movement, bonus action remaining.
Okay. Ooh, there's tigers. Tigers are big, and that's a half movement, so 20 foot. Okay. I'm gonna go round. I can't see how far it'll be. But I intend to go round to the big boulders to see these commoners.
Okay. So it would be how much movement you've got remaining.
So I've got 20 foot.
So yeah, you can get to where you're within eye line of them. 20 foot will take you to there. So you can see 2 of them. You can see the 2 humans. The dwarf hasn't made it round that far yet. You can see the humans are ducked down behind it. They haven't got an action yet to hide, so their heads are still up over the rock.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt. I'm going to shout to them and say, if we work together, we may survive this. Pick up some weapons and move. And use persuasion.
Okay, cool. Roll it up. Oh,
Nice.
nice. Excellent. Okay, cool. So yeah, like you can see the 2 humans look at each other, realizing that there's no way they're going to outrun these things. They look around and you can see they both look down and there's like large rocks at their feet, and they go to scoop them up. The only available weapons to hand. Excellent. Cool.
And yeah, that I think will do for now.
Excellent. So next up we are on to Smithius McSmithface.
That's me. How heavy are said rocks?
There aren't any around you because you're up onto the stage now. So it's smooth stone beneath your feet.
Okay.
You'd have to drag Nadine back onto the dirt to try and scavenge for something if you wanted to throw a rock.
Oh, I'm not that assertive, so I won't do that.
Sub not dom.
I think I'm just going to try another firebolt
At
one of the tigers.
okay, cool. What's range on your firebolt?
120 foot.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine. That's like the whole arena wide. So the only one you can see is this one here.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So yeah, roll up your attack. Oh, crit.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay. Can you crit a ranged attack if it's a spell? I think you can, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excellent. So yeah, you hurtle it through. The tiger's roaring at the wrong moment to have its mouth wide open. So roll up your damage. So if you just
1d10.
so yeah, just roll 2d10 then.
Oh.
So 6 and 9. Okay, 15.
Oh, hello.
Excellent. Nice. And it's not plus anything, is it? It's just flat damage.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
minus 15. So yeah, you send this thing hurtling across, and it hits it clean in the face. Like you hear a yelp, and it turns its head to the side. And as it whips back, you can see that there's sort of steamy smoke pouring from the side of this tiger's mouth as it continues to dash in your direction. Cool. Anything for your defender, or anything else on your turn? You've got a bonus action you can expend or anything?
No, although I probably just looked at Nadine. Half smirk, half looking for approval.
Nice. Okay.
Did I do good?
So you've got a bonus action available to tell your steel defender to do something on its turn if you want to.
Yeah. Did the one that tried to escape manage to get out of the shackles? Or
It did not. So no. The defender, the opposite side of Nice, wife has brought a hand up between and is currently attempting to saw its way through the chain. We can see that it's made a little bit of ground, but there's still a good ways to go.
right? Can I just try and struggle pointlessly?
Cool. So do you want to try and muscle your way out or attack the chain?
What attacks can they do?
So you should have a Smith's Robot Boy character sheet in. Although I should change that to Robot Girl.
Robot cat.
Change the sex bot. Just do it.
Change it to not a sex bot.
Catbot. Save changes. Is that done? Oh yeah, you can't see it.
Also, I'll mention now, I was going to wait till my turn, but you didn't add on proficiency bonus, gets added onto the attack. So the chain's taken 5 points of damage. Not 3.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that not just in the attack? Did you not roll the attack from the sheet, or?
Yeah, but you hadn't added the proficiency bonus onto it.
Oh, okay, cool. So.
Yeah. So it's 1d8 plus 2.
Let me make it so you can see the labels on these, so you can tell which one's which.
What's this force empowered rend?
That's its attack.
There we go. That's yours at the bottom.
So I can do that on the shackles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's an auto hit, even though it's disadvantage.
Oh.
So how much did you say you did additional? Sorry, it was an additional 2.
So another
Oh,
2,
right.
yeah.
Nice. So how much damage did you do, Smith? I see. Yeah, click on the actual wording of the so click on force empowered rends to do the damage for it.
Well, it just rolled the d20s when I did that.
I know. So
click on
in,
attack.
in the chat. Sorry. So if you see it in chat,
yeah.
click on the word force empowered rend. It'll roll the damage up for you.
Oh, cool.
3. So I might not have added proficiency to that as either.
Yeah,
so
so that'll
just
be
3.
5 as well.
It's 5. Okay. Excellent. So you can see that as he's soaring through. So between the two of you, you're about halfway through the chain. The top chain, anyway. The one. So you're both working on the one that's at your chest. I'm guessing, seeing as you're attacking it with your arms.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Should have done that with my first go.
Cool. That's fine. Then next up is Gannicus's newly enlisted compatriots, the humans. So they are gonna scrabble up onto these rocks. So a rock in the hand each. They are going to move up to here. The dwarf grabs a rock and does the same thing. So we see that this rock formation, they all scrabble up on top, a rock in the hand each. And you can see that they each prepare an action to throw it if anything comes into range. Excellent. Nadine, you're up.
All right. So I'm slightly impressed by the firebolt. You know, gives a thumbs up.
You're not sundaring him, then you let on that you're impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not a tsundere. She's just very mocking when something goes wrong.
Cool.
I guess the best thing to do would be to get these chains off. They're still chained, right?
Yes. So there's 2 chains to deal with. One round the chest, which is about halfway through through the combined efforts of the robots, and then one round their knees, which is as of yet untouched.
Okay. I'm just thinking here. First, can I use perception again to see if there's any weapons nearby?
Yes, you may. Yeah.
Now that we're on the
Now you're on
show me a good
raised
roll,
platform.
please. Yeah. God fucking
2. No, unfortunately not. Yeah, no. Is there anything that's going to be obvious enough? No, not with a. With a 2, you can see this down the bottom. You can see. You can see what's been flashing over here. You can see now that you're up on the stage. You can see on the opposite end there's a raised platform. That's about 20 foot high. This sort of like wooden scaffold. And mounted on top of it appears to be a ballista.
see.
What?
A ballista. It's like a siege weapon. It's a giant crossbow mounted on a tripod.
Okay. And the guy with the hammer is just like trying to get away.
Yeah, he hasn't had a chance to. He's bolted in the other direction. You can see he's got grease slicked all up his face. But he's just attempting to run in the other direction. He didn't pick up his shield. He's just running.
What about his hammer?
His hammer's still in his hand.
Okay, I'm going to step like right. Oop, not that way. Sorry, this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to use lightning lure on him to try and pull him back into the grease.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Nice.
Smithius, I'm assuming you're not resisting the movement.
Correct.
Yeah, cool, that's fine. Yeah, roll it up.
Right.
So no,
It's his strength check.
Strength check for him, isn't it?
Is it a check
14.
or saving throw?
Or, let me double check that.
I'm assuming it'll be a saving throw.
He hasn't got any trained things in strength anyway, so it'll just be it's indifferent. So strength.
Come on.
Yeah, strength saving throw.
Oh,
come on!
17.
What is up with these ungodly rolls for them? Jesus.
Yeah, so this time, like, there's no distraction. So you manage to flip it down. You can see where his hands pull behind him. It catches him round the wrist, but he wrenches his hand free and continues running. Just
specifically avoid making eye contact with with Smithius.
Nice. Okay. Anything for your robot steel defender on its turn?
Yes. So. He'll also now that I am close enough to him, his voice would sound out in like a slightly robotic, but still like sounding human type thing, and he'd be like, "I don't think you quite hit him with that one." And the two would just like glance at him like, "Fuck off."
Is there any like mouth flap, or what's the deal with the?
No. So there's no visible point where the sound comes from.
Okay. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Nice. So then, any actions for him other than mocking you?
Yeah. so he's going to try and break the chains as well again.
So you're going to try and muscle your way out, or start doing damage to it?
Start doing damage.
Okay,
Sounds
cool.
like the best course of action.
On max damage.
So yeah, so there's no to hit. So just roll up the attack and immediately do the damage for it because you can't miss.
Okay. So where's the attack?
We need to add +2 to it as well.
Yeah, I've done that on mine. Nice. Well,
Nice.
it hits anyway. Come on.
Nice. That's
8.
8 damage. So nearly. So no, the top chain, like you're almost all the way through it. So what's the attack look like from your steel defender? Like when it goes into attack mode, is there any visible difference, or how's it attempting to break this chain?
I think, given how it is, so it's around the ankles and around their body, right?
It's around their chest. So they're bound like this, so you can still move from the elbow effectively.
Yeah. So I think it would be more like just automatically his hand just like slamming up like in a very like no human could move their arm like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, in a very linear sort of motion.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Nice. So yeah, no, you hear the chain creak and like we see one of the links like begin to pull, but you're not quite through as of yet. As of the moment, still bound. Excellent. Next up is Nice.
Okay. Now, I wouldn't usually be able to make like a check to squirm free of these, would I?
No, it's just a strength check for a chain. It's a strength check.
Okay.
Or you can do the damage to break it.
What if I cast grease on myself?
Then yes, I would allow you to at that point make a check.
Okay.
It would still be a tough check because you're still very much bound. But yeah, you could attempt to slide free, and it'll be a hard check still though.
It's I don't know. It's wasting a spell slot then. Thing is, I built my character without any like damage that he can do on his own, without spells. There's no point doing. How much strength does wife have? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast guidance on wife with my action.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think it's just verbal and somatic, so that's fine. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to ask her to try and break free of the chains instead of attacking them.
Okay, excellent. So slightly meta, it makes more sense if you're going to try and break the bottom chain, if you're going to strength weight out, as opposed to do the damage.
Okay.
But it's up to you, because obviously you can do either. The top one's nearly through, but if you do it with the check, you do it all in one go. It's just very hard.
Yeah, I'll try and do the bottom one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, we'll do that. I said it.
Excellent.
So,
okay, cool. So roll a strength check.
19 plus 1d4. Come on. Oh, I need to do slash R 1d4. So 20.
So what are the legs of wife like?
So from the knee down, they're swords.
Well, that came in handy then. So the legs just go.
Sword legs.
And the bottom chain comes asunder, like almost like where the two legs come out. The chain is chopped into three sections, one short one between the two legs, and as it bursts outwards. And all of you can now move from the waist down until you can kick if you please.
Okay.
Excellent.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Then next up is the elf. I'm gonna double check. He would definitely. The elf runs up to you, or the elf turns to you, Gannicus. What would, if somebody of the elven culture who's aware of your status, what would they refer to you as? What would your official title be?
Monk of the Silent Forest.
Okay, and then said, do you have like a rank, or do you like what would somebody refer to you? What would be your official title?
Unless you're part of the monk's caste, I guess you wouldn't really know what, because I suppose it would look quite similar.
Mm-hmm.
Might be an initiate, or something like that. So I'm just a normal level monk.
Right.
Status.
Okay, and I said, what did you say the name of it was? You were a
Monk of the Silent Forest.
Okay, Monk of the Silent Forest. Okay. So yeah, he would turn to you, and he'd probably refer to you about. He'd say, "Initiate, what do I do?"
Okay. And let me think. I would respond to him and say, "Help those others in the middle. Give them support."
Okay, yeah, he nods, and you see that he begins dashing off in the direction. Roll a perception for me, please.
Indeed.
What's the weapons of your particular clan, by the way? What are your monk weapons?
Mine would be a longsword.
Okay, cool.
21.
21. Okay. So yeah, he is going to use just his base movement, which I think is 30. To move to there. Let me double check his sheet. does he think? Here we go. Speed, yeah, 30. So yeah, he moves up, and then you see he brings his sword round to defend himself. You would notice by the stance, the way he grips the sword, both while he's running and then again when he takes his stance, with a 21 perception, you would immediately notice that he appears to have had training very similar to your own, if not directly from the monastery.
Okay. Interesting. I'll bear that in mind.
Cool. And then that's his turn. Next up is the guy holding the chain for the gate. Grieg like pulls him away, and you can see where he was holding the gate open. His hands go free. The chain whips up past him, and the gate clatters closed. So that is Grieg out of the equation. So next up is the dwarves. So the front dwarf's going to use his action. He turns around to where the rack is that was previously holding the weapons, and he is going to make a I'll call it strength check to attempt to. He begins hitting it with the axe.
Trying to make some makeshift weapons.
Rolls with advantage. That's a 9 total. So no, he doesn't get through it this time. But you see, he at the corner where the rack meets the hen, he begins attempting to hack his way through the top brace. Next up, let me just quickly edit these. So that's why we know what these are. So next up is the tigers. Time to start mauling people.
Oh, no.
Let's see. What was their movement again? It was a lot. 40.
40.
So 40 running around the grease is enough to get to our friend here.
Yay!
And that is enough that it can use its attack. So claw attack. Yeah, so claw attack. Oh. That is a 13, which does not hit. So you can see this thing pounces on his back, but there's a sort of ear-piercing, like screeching noise as the claws scrape down the back of the metal armor on his back. And you hear a grinding, maybe the hint of a spark as the sharp claws claw down, but it doesn't catch flesh. And he continues to move in that direction. Can a second one get to him? It's rough terrain, isn't it?
Yes. And when it enters, it has to do the check.
Okay.
Let me double check that, but I think that's right.
So the second one that also only had Lylon on him. Hold on, let me double check.
Yeah, the creature that enters it or ends its turn there.
So it's got 33, and then... Okay, it can potentially make it, but first things first. So it's still going to be line for the same guy, but what's the check?
It'll be a 14.
DC 14 Dex, did you say it was?
Yeah, dexterity save,
Okay,
which
cool.
it'll probably have.
Not with a 4 it won't. So you can see it dives after him, but as it hits the grease, which it wouldn't have been able to see from down where it is, it was at a lowered level, it hits the grease and you see its front legs just extend out in front of it and it begins sliding through the grease.
Like a dog on a kitchen floor.
Yeah, exactly. No traction. Hold on, let me just quickly... never roll advantage. Cool. And then... Next up, unfortunately, Smithius, you are the only one with eyeline who is made of meat. So Smithius, one of them comes hurtling towards you, and attempts to attack you with its claws. Does
Yes.
21 hit?
Let me just check. Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. So this thing pounces on top of you, and that is a 7 slashing damage.
Wait a sec. Whose robot is next to Is that Smithius's one at the top?
No, that is.
No, mine's the bottom left.
It's
So-
Oscar's.
But Matt, you could use your reaction to give that disadvantage. And we can't hear you muted.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So I'll roll it again because you could see the previous one, or the previous one
Yeah.
would have hit regardless. Actually, no, it didn't. Sorry, that was higher up that it already rolled it. But yeah, I'll roll it again then. Oh, sorry, I rolled the damage instead of the... I'll roll the damage again. There you go. So,
Oh, I just thought you're all really squishy at the moment.
unfortunately, no.
Oh.
It rolls even higher with a 22.
GG.
So yeah, that's 7 slashing damage, Smithy. And now, with advantage, you need to make, because it affects both of you, you need to make a DC 13 strength check, or it's going to pull both of you prone, because you're attached together at the wrist.
What? Me too?
Yeah. This tiger's literally, the Smithius is attached to you, and this tiger's just come hurtling past. So he gets the benefit of your strength as well by getting advantage. 18. Okay, so yes, Smithius, you managed to stay on your feet. This thing comes clattering down on top of you. But you managed to bring your arms up, and you're bearing the weight of this thing. But both of its front claws are digged into either shoulder, and you're bracing underneath the weight.
Held up by Nadine, probably.
Yeah, benefiting from Nadine being up on top of you, pulling upwards. Sorry, can you pull? You get advantage to roll another one for me, just to see if you crit. I just want to see if it's heroic. No, you don't. Okay, yeah. So no, but you bear the weight of this thing, and I'm guessing it. Yeah, so no, it doesn't get to also chomp on you then because its pounce failed.
Nice.
So that's that one, and then final one. How far can this one move? Only to here. So emerging round the side of the beast, the final tiger comes looping round, and you see it locks eyes on Nadine as it comes round the corner.
My cat ears twitch.
Yeah. Cool, excellent. Next up is our orky boy. He can't get away from this thing, so he's gonna have to attempt to attack it. So he's going to use his warhammer to swing at it for 16,
Nice.
which does hit. And then I only gave him a one-hand option because you usually have a shield in his hand, but he hasn't. So I'll just roll a d10, and then it's plus 3. So he does 6 damage. So he begins smacking at the tiger, but he's not able to get a good hit on it, and he just hits it with the butt of the hammer. 6, let's close this down. -6. Excellent, okay. Gannicus, you're up again.
Okay. How big are these boulders that these humans have climbed upon?
They're sort of about at the peak of the largest rock, which is the one at the bottom. It's about 10 foot, and then it's like pyramids down from there. So anywhere other than the one that's in the centre is probably 10 foot up. The rest of them are probably 5.
Okay. So I'm going to climb up to the top of the boulder, 10-foot one.
Okay, cool.
Like them.
So in front of these guys, I'm guessing, because it's the only available spot. So
Yeah.
like there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And remind me how staying my turn works, or like, obviously I can ready an attack if, for instance, a tiger comes nearby.
Yeah, to stay your turn, you would have had to dock the movement as well. You can just say, I want to take my turn after somebody else, or you can prepare an action, which means you can give a condition to say, if this happens, then this.
Okay. So,
and your prepared action can include any... Actually, can you use remaining movement if you use some movement as part of your prepared action, or do you have to have not moved, Steve, from memory?
What was this? Sorry, I was.
As part of a prepared action, I know you can move up to your movement speed. If you've already used some of it, can you use the remainder, or do you have to? It does have to be the totality of it.
No. So, as a prepared action, you can either take an action as part of a reaction, or you can use your reaction to move at your normal.
Okay.
Right. So if I just wanted to move later on, then I could prepare my action to move. Basically.
Okay. And then can you use remaining? Can you use remaining speed as that, or do you have to have not
No,
moved? As
just
part
your
of your
base
turn?
movement speed.
Right. Okay. So but yeah.
So, for instance, if you said you prepare to dash as your action, then when your reaction goes off, you would only move 30 feet, not 60 feet.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But I'm thinking more that he's already moved 10 feet as part of his turn. So can he prepare to move 20? Or if because he's already
no, he would
expended
get the full 30.
Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, cool. Oh, because it's effectively a dash. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can either move or you can do an attack or cast one of your spells if you have to.
Okay.
All right, so I don't have any spells. But I will prepare. If the tiger comes close enough, I will prepare a flurry of blows.
Well, so if they literally kill all of us, then move on to you.
Yep. Sounds good.
Heroic.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so you're just going to prepare a flurry of blows for if a tiger comes within range.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So then next up is Smithius. You're a bit heavier all of a sudden. So there's a tiger bearing down on you, snapping at your face.
Yes, there is. Well, I'm going to be incredibly boring and just do another firebolt.
Okay, so
because
as a ranged attack, does he get disadvantage, I'm guessing? Yeah, you get disadvantage firing a firebolt at this range with it so close. Because it's a ranged attack and you have a hostile creature within 5 feet, or within a few inches.
Oh, right.
On you.
Okay. I think there's literally nothing else I can do there, really, is there? Other than just punch it.
Yeah, you could attempt to punch it.
How much damage would that do?
1 damage plus your strength mod.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't think you add your strength. I don't know about that.
You do, yeah, because it's not a monk specific thing that you add it. They just get to roll dice. So yeah, it'd be 1 plus strength modifier, with a minimum damage of 1 if it's a negative.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not do that then.
So it might be better. You might be right. It might be better just to take the disadvantage and attempt to fire it in its face.
Yeah.
Melee attack spells.
These guys are. How far away? These guys were grabbing rocks, right?
Yes. So they're down on. They're literally on a pile of rocks. So there's a big pile of rubble over in that direction. So they just scooped up parts.
How far away are they?
They are a good distance for your little legs. They're about 40 feet away, 45 feet away. What you do have the other attack options. You could attempt to shove this thing, or you could attempt to toss it off you and knock it prone, which may be a better option.
What would I need to do for that?
It'll be hard because it's a strength competition and this thing's a tiger. But you could do a shove and you could push it away from you 5 feet. Would that allow you to move without taking an opportunity attack? Yeah, so you could theoretically get it off you and then move without taking it, or you could disengage and move away. You've got a few options for that.
I'm also thinking about catapult, because if there are rocks over here, I think from reading catapult, anything within 60 feet, I can then aim at anything else within 60 feet.
Okay, yeah. You can do that. So is there a material component to it? Does it have the M on the spell?
No, just S.
Okay. So yeah, you can do that. So
would that be with disadvantage as well?
Yeah. Why don't you roll a quick perception check for me? And what's the limit on catapult?
Catapult's a saving throw.
And then with catapult, is there dimensions to what you can throw?
It can't be more than 5 pounds.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So yeah, no, the rubble that's over there it's within 40 feet of you.
Did you say perception throw, or is that?
Yeah, roll a no, actually, that's fine. You can see where they are. How far can you throw the rocks?
Well, it just says ranges within 60 feet, and it says choose one object within the range.
So it flies in a straight line 90 feet.
Oh, 90 feet. Okay, yeah.
So it can come all the way back.
Yeah. You can definitely do that then. So.
And it stops early if it impacts a surface or a solid surface.
Yeah, you can 100% do that.
Okay, so I'm going to try and use a rock from over here and aim it at the one that's... I'll go for the one that's on me, I think.
Yeah, probably a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a dex save, did you say, for it? Or what's the...
I think that's right.
So if you use
dex save, yeah.
Dex save, okay, cool. 12, is that enough to dodge? Is that the DC? is it against your spell save, or is it give a specific DC? Spell save. So spell save is 10 plus your proficiency plus intelligence modifier. Am I right in saying?
Oh,
If it should be 12, I think. No, it's 8 plus 2
8.
plus.
Sorry, 8
thing.
plus proficiency plus intelligence modifier. So the same as what we calculated earlier for your to hit.
I just clicked out of Roll20 1 second.
Okay, let me look it up for you. So where are you? Smith face. So you're 8 plus 2 plus 2, so 12. So it gets a 12, so it does succeed, unfortunately, and dodges it.
Fuck!
So probably just by nature of the fact that it's bearing down onto you, it isn't so much that it dodges it, but you're not able to draw a clear line to where the tiger is. This rock smashes on the pillar above where all of the robots are strapped in, and bits of rubble sort of rain down on everybody who's still chained to the point.
We're getting much luck with our dice throws, are we?
No. So you can still spend a bonus action to do something with your steel defender.
Oh yeah. So I guess just our chests are still secured, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, only just.
So-
Like it's all, you're almost all the way through the chest.
Yeah. So I'll just attack that again.
Cool. Yeah, roll your damage. So just click on the attack and then just click on the damage straight away because you can't miss.
I'm a robot girl now, am I? Where is it?
I seem to be a robot girl suddenly.
Cool. And then just click on the word force powered and rend in the chat.
No.
Yeah.
3. You literally
Oh,
got
3. I see. Yeah. So
Worst.
that's just enough. So what does it look
Oh,
like when
yes.
what does it look like when your robot attacks, Smithius?
Probably claws come out.
Yeah.
And it's like a sort of. I guess I can't really move, can I? But
Yeah. No, that's
sort of
fine.
lit-
You can grab like that. So
Yeah.
if his claws, the hands come up, wrap on the chain, and then pull down in an outward direction. And you see that it pulls, and the chain falls to the ground around you, and simultaneously, all four of you are secured to the pillar and now free.
I'm free.
Excellent. It is now.
Are any of us truly free?
So we'll skip over the commoners because they're still just stood waiting with rocks. Nadine, you're up.
All right. Oh boy, let's see here. All right.
Is Nadine still giving me shit for my catapult, or?
No, she's.
You can make another perception check if you want, Nadine, for weapons.
Yeah,
by the way.
I'm going to do that first and foremost. But also no, Smithicus. I think she's a little bit more worried that you're about to get your face ripped off.
That's nice.
Okay. Oh, nice. So yeah, that's 18. Is it total?
Yeah, she does actually like you, even if she taunts you all the time.
Excellent. Okay. So with an 18, you can notice certainly everything that's around. So there's about to be a free warhammer. Once this guy's been ripped to pieces, you do notice 2 other things. You notice that it would be very cumbersome, but the large statue of the king that's to the north, over here.
Yeah.
You notice that the arm of it's been severed, and it has a large brass ornamental sword that forms part of the statue. I mean, you can see that it slid slightly free of the hand. So it's not sharp, and it wouldn't be a blade, and it'd be cumbersome, but that could potentially be wielded by somebody with the arm strength to do it.
Okay.
And then you also notice just the other side of, as you're watching the tiger pounce on top of the armoured orc, you can see to the other side of him, just here, that there appears to be a previous victim of the arena, as there is a grizzled-looking man laying down, but you can see draped across his lap, he has a long sword.
Okay. Unfortunately, neither of those are particularly useful right this second.
So if you could get to the big sword, I would class it as a great club
So,
or a warhammer.
an actually important question: is there any type of food in the arena?
Food.
So, like,
Depends on your definition. There's a corpse over there.
okay, sure, but I mean, like, would the spectators maybe have been, like, throwing rotten fruit or anything?
Roll a perception for me.
I can't use my 18.
Go on then. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. You can probably see like there's general detritus, but it's all sort of within. It's all stuff that would have been dropped over the edge. Where there's orcs, all making merry around the edge. Someone who had drinks on the edge have knocked them off, so there's like goblets sitting around. There's a general ring of trash all around the outer border. So in amongst that, there is probably some mouldy looking edibles.
Okay, but like nothing nearby.
Nothing that's been hurtled into the middle. You'd have to move to the edge to get any of it.
Okay.
Oh. Pan down, Steve. What are you doing?
It's Nadine.
Nyan.
Let's see. I wish I had the forethought to store a weapon inside my golem. I guess I'm probably just gonna have to. How is the tiger positioned on Smithicus?
It's like bearing down. He's currently trying to lift it off him. So it's effectively on him. He's still bearing its weight down at the moment.
Okay, I want to try and roll over the back of the tiger.
Okay.
So that our linked hands would be wrapped around its neck.
Okay, yeah. You can 100% do that. So yeah, let's roll this as a. It'll be an acrobatics check, which would be contested by its strength, I suppose. So let's roll the tiger. So the tiger gets a 12.
Okay, so uncontested, so just strength check?
No, it's acrobatics.
Oh, acrobatics, all right. Show me the money. 14.
Nice.
Ooh.
So exactly that. So you roll over the back of it, and as you do, you bring the chain up. Smithy, as you wear your hands up this side, and he rolls over the other side. Your hands basically meet in the center, but the chain is now the full way around this tiger's neck. You see its eyes widen.
Nice.
Work.
So I guess would I use like an unarmed attack to start strangling the fuck out of this tiger?
Yes. So now, let's do it as. Let's try to think. I'm going to say the first one because of the first one. It's just pulled taut.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say so officially it's now drowning. So then on each of its turn, it'll contest strength to try and pull itself free. But it'll be rolling. You'll be rolling with advantage because you and Smithius can both pull the chain.
Okay.
So let me just double check drowning. It's probably going to take quite a long time for it to fall unconscious, but let me just double check. It's like a full minute or something like that.
It takes ages.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, you're choking it for the moment. So I think it's a minute. So it'll be like 10 turns before it goes down. But if it remains choked, I'll begin to add detrimental effects onto it, and the longer it's held. Cool. Next up is nice. You are free.
It's my big boy's turn.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot.
So he would step up to the tiger.
Yep.
And wrap his thick, meaty steel arms around the tiger.
I'm gonna do that.
It's going to choke out all these tigers.
Yep. Yeah, he wouldn't really say anything. He would just like instantly try to turn and twist the tiger. So doing a force attack, but like along with damage to try and snap its neck.
Okay, I get you. So it's trying to use the leverage of you holding the
Yeah.
chain to twist it. Excellent. Okay, yeah. So roll your force strength.
Let's go, baby.
It'll be with advantage. I'll class the tiger as being restrained while you've got its neck.
Oh my fucking god. What are these rolls?
A 10. So no, unfortunately, it's not enough to get a grip. So where it's thrashing wildly against you holding its neck, he attempts to grab the hind legs to twist it, but it kicks and thrashes, and it's not able to get a grip. Next up is our elf friend. Oh, sorry. I skipped because let's go back around. Nice is up next. Sorry.
Okay. Do I think are the tigers looking like they're not interested in the robots at all?
No, not so much. Like they are definitely going for those of us who are made of meat.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna move to there, and then am I able to move with my robot wife or not? Not very specific on it.
What, you want to move in tandem?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say so. That's fine. Or I'd say if it's not specified in the rules, you can move at half speed by grabbing its hand and pulling it along with you.
Yeah, I guess technically it wouldn't because its turn is technically after mine.
Yeah, but you can move. You can move at half speed by effectively pulling it, if you see what I mean. So I'll allow that.
I'm just gonna risk it, and I'm gonna dash. So that's 5 feet to there, and then how do I do the movement that shows on screen? The measurement.
You right click as you're moving it, so you pick it up and then right click, and it'll bring up a ruler.
Right. Okay. So I basically want to dash down to there. I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Opportunity attacks or no?
Yes, although one of them's prone. Can you make opportunity attacks when you're prone?
Should be able to. I don't know if you have disadvantage or not.
Let me just double check. Prone. Being prone.
I don't actually know.
No, it doesn't actually say anything about it, so that's weird. Hold on, let me just double check the conditions. Oh no, it has disadvantage on attack rolls. And yeah, okay, cool. So one of them will be with disadvantage, so we'll roll that one up first. So immediately it's a crit fail. So that one misses, and then the other one. No, that's not going to be enough. So
Cool.
10 doesn't hit. So no, so they both swipe at you, but you dart between. So are you taking girl with you, did you say, or are you leaving it?
Yeah, so I'm going to bonus action ask her to dash as her action, and then she's going to run as well. So opportunity attacks again.
No, you can only make one reaction.
Oh, that's very true. Okay,
So
cool.
you took the risk, so she didn't have to, and because technically she moves after you, she can just move freely.
So yeah, she can move down to there. Cool. And that's my turn.
Cool, excellent. And so now it's we're on to our elf friend. He's gonna. How much movement does it take for him to move around? Actually, no, because he'd have to go. He's gonna have to risk the grease.
Oh, if it's okay for me to say quickly, I would have also just as like an item interaction grabbed the bag on my way past.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, perfectly fine. That's a free action. Doesn't take any effort. Okay, cool. So Fink's gonna risk. How long does grease last?
It's a minute or 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. So it'll still be there. So he's gonna risk it because it's worth it for the advantage on the attack. Although it may go horribly wrong. So it's a dex save, isn't it?
Yeah, dex saving throw.
He's pretty dexterous. I can probably take it. 16. Is that enough to stay upright?
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. So yeah, he runs into the grease and sort of like Legolas slides in it. Grab and flips his sword back round the other way and goes to stab it into the tiger that's fallen prone. And he gets advantage on this attack because of it. So let's roll. It'll be the same as his unarmed strike. And I'll just roll different damage.
Oh.
Jesus. Jesus. Okay, yeah. Is it? Oh no, you can't use short sword. Can you swing with dex? I don't know if you can. Oh no,
Sword, yeah.
oh no, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's enough. And then so short sword damage is a D6. Am I right in saying?
Yes.
D6.
Yeah, short sword's D6, long sword is D8 or D10 with 2 hands.
And then plus 4. So he does 7 damage. So he comes sliding across and then plants the sword into the back of the tiger. It's going to take a lot more than that, though. Excellent.
Which is the one that was firebolted?
The one that's on top of you.
Ah. That'll be why.
Also, if he ends his turn in the grease, he has to make the save again.
Okay, cool, that's fine. He's a very dexterous boy, so he should hopefully be okay. So it's moving into or ending your turn?
Or ending your turn, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or when it's cast.
Okay, dex save again. 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he stays up. I need to change that so it's not always advantage. Never. Cool. And then next up is the orc, but he's going to move well and truly out of the combat now. So we're on to the dwarves. He's going to continue attempting to break down this barrier. Turn his advantage off. Never roll advantage. And then he got a 3. So no, he's still not through it, unfortunately. He continues hacking at the joists. He makes it all the way through one side, and the rack like topples over to form an L. But he hasn't managed to break it down into anything usable yet. Next up is Le Tigers. Let's start with our one on the plunderer. Why end a good thing? So 11 I don't think's enough. Nope. So he continues scraping on the armor, but you see he bites down on the helmet, but it's not enough to break through. He's wearing expensive armor, and so far it's holding true against the tiger. Next up we shall have the one that's on Smithius. You're next. Let's have a quick look. It's going to attempt to bite you. 7, does that hit?
Ew.
It does not. So no, yeah, it attempts to bite you, but where Nadine's pulling back on the neck, it's not able to get close enough, so it snaps inches away from your face. You sort of get like there's still a little bit of steam coming out of its mouth, so you get hot spit spraying into your face.
I've made a fire-breathing tiger.
Excellent. Next up is the one that's all horny for Nadine.
What? Why is everyone horny for Nadine?
It's gonna have to move through the grease though, so let's see if it ends up prone.
Please fucking faceplant, you dumb bitch.
Dex save. It crits.
Wow. It leaps with no problem.
But it didn't move far enough to pounce, so it's just going to attempt to bite you. So does an 11 hit?
Bitch, not even close.
So yeah, no, this thing comes snapping out. But when it hits the oil, it slides a little bit. I mean, you see, like, as it's passing your ankle, it attempts to, but you just lift the leg up. I mean,
for absolutely no damage, can I give it like a bad kitty slap with my foot? Like, yeah.
Sure, yeah, tap on top of the head. No, that's fine. And then the only one remaining is the one that thinks on top of. So it has to attempt to stand up first. 5. No, it doesn't. So if it fails the check, does it end its turn, or does it just remain prone?
No, it just goes prone. Like.
Okay.
So technically, it could use, if it has half of its movement left, it could use it to stand up again.
Okay.
Let me double check.
Really? That seems.
Yeah, it just falls prone. There's no further connotations.
Okay, cool. No, it's just going to take the attack with disadvantage then. An attempt to bite. No, that's not enough. So no, it attempts to bite the elf that's on his back, but he remaneuvers his legs and manages to stay behind its head. Next up is the orc. He's going to continue fighting for his life.
How's the crowd reacting to all of this?
They're having a great time. So yeah, so all around you, like the crowd are just roaring through the entirety of this. It's chaos all around. So the roaring of the orcs has been consistent throughout. As soon as the gate was opened, like there was a moment of near silence as the slick-looking orc over towards the throne was announcing to the crowd. But as soon as the gate began open, it's been thunderous ever since. The occasional "ooh" and "ah" as more pertinent things happen. They don't seem to be too dissatisfied with the fact that one of their own is being mauled by a tiger as well.
I've just realised something as well. The construct, the Still Defender's movement is 40 feet. So can I make her 10 foot up the thing already, the barricade, the stage bit?
Yes. So do you half it for climb speed, or is it just the same?
Yeah, halved.
Okay,
Otherwise,
cool.
she'd be on top of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you can be 10 foot up. That's not a problem. So move her a little bit in front of you, and yeah, he's just going to attack with his hammer. 12, which is just a hit. So I need to roll this up separately because it's two-handed. D10 plus 3. Oh, max damage. So he manages to get a purchase on his hammer and plants it into the chin of the tiger. So minus 13. And Gannicus, you're up again.
All right.
I think we're gonna have to call it here. It's
Oh.
one.
Oh, so yeah, we'll leave it there. So from where we are, we see that the chaos is unfolding. There's a scrap. We pan around to Gannicus as it's your turn.
Can I make a suitably epic last move? It'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So my intention is to turn to these humans with their weapons now and use my persuasion to shout, "The advantage is turned. Attack!"
Nice, and you thrust your hand up with the short sword in hand. With an 8. So yeah, you go attack, and then you see that they all like look to each other, and there's a moment where nobody moves. We continue here to the scrabbling, the chinking of weapons, and the roaring of tigers in the centre. As you can see as we time it around, there's scrabbling in the centre, slightly obscured by the single remaining pillar. The camera slowly pans up as we hear the orcs all chanting in unison. And then slowly we fade to a black screen with the sound of the chaos in the background.
Suitably epic.
Yeah, suitably anticlimactic.